everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News. Well, we made it everyone. We got to the point at which the Ruination teasers are everywhere. On Reddit, on Twitter, in my breakfast. And I think we are far from being done. Given the fact that this week, after all the new teasers, people with insomnia were diagnosed with a second insomnia. But before we get to that, let's start lightly so people don't freak out. So as always, let's first have a look at what is happening in League. Before the entire madness began, we actually got some new skins on PvE, all following the footsteps of Astronaut Bard. Here we have Corki in his own spaceship. I don't even have to say that this looks amazing, you can see it for yourselves. Then there is Maokai, who is quite a surprise. He's throwing around the little aliens, and he's carrying a greenhouse on his back. I love this idea. Then there is Rammus, a very unexpected skin, but still a very welcome one. And Veigar, who's okay, but I love that his W calls down a very chunky alien. Besides this, PvE also showed us the new assets for the next clash. This includes new Targonian banners, Targonian trophies, and new Targonian clash logos. And that's kinda where the non-freaky news ends. So now, onto the Ruination! First of all, everyone knows that PvE is testing a new game mode. This one is called Ultimate Spellbook, and it is so buggy it spawned numerous memes. The point of this game mode is that everything is ruined, and in the image of Viego, who can take over bodies, no matter what champion you're playing, at the start of the game, you will have the option to pick from 3 different ultimates which you will have as an extra ability. This extra ultimate, which comes from a different champion, will replace one of your summoner spells. So you will still have your normal champion ultimate, but on top of that you just have an extra ultimate from another champion. I'll be honest, this game mode is really fun to play, like 3 times. Then you realize that people are already starting to figure out the meta. What I love about this one is that it is random. But because it is random, you may end up with a really good combo, or you are forced into 20 minutes of doubting your life's decisions. In my humble opinion, nothing will match Odyssey. Yes, this game mode throws what you know about League out the window, because suddenly champions have abilities which you wouldn't expect on them. Odyssey just gave us a whole new game. So while this game mode for this event is really fun, for me it is on the same fun level as Nexus Blitz. But who knows, maybe when all of this launches there will be more to the Ruination event. Speaking of which, besides this game mode, Riot also released a new cinematic teasing the first region to fall, which is Demacia. This isn't really a new high-budget cinematic, it is really just a repurpose of Riot's art for the new event. They even used the 3D assets from Rise's cinematic to put them into this one. Those World Rune vaults are used as pillars in Demacia's throne room. Anyway, this cinematic is supposed to be a hype teaser for the event, but maybe it's just me, but it feels like people are not really hyped enough. This could be because Viego has been around for some time now, and so everyone knows that the Ruination is coming. And it's coming, and it's coming. And it's still coming. Is it still coming? At this point everyone knows what is going to happen, but we are just waiting for when it is going to happen. Which means that over time the hype just diminished. And now, to really blow people's minds, Riot needs to do something really big. And so, since they are teasing that something will be happening in Demacia, I really hope they are teasing that something will happen in Demacia. For example, I kinda hope that Riot will destroy Demacia. Their king just died. Their kingdom is in a civil war. Why shouldn't the kingdom actually get ruined? It would be really cool to see this nation that was heavily leaning on itself and that didn't like to get involved with the regions around them to suddenly crumble, which means that Demacians would be forced into seeking help from the other regions. I don't know, maybe I'm just sadistic, but I want Riot to heavily change the world, make it evolve. And if you are putting this much effort into teasing Demacia, just do something with it. I don't really care what. Speaking of lore, as you might have noticed in our last video, Riot did release the spicy story about Leona and Diana. It is a really cool story that was excellently written, it didn't feel forced at all, and I recommend people to check it out. But besides this, Leona and Diana overshadowed the other story which we got, which was a story for Callista, where she actually did what she's supposed to do: find betrayers and kill them. This is a story which we will still cover on the channel, But just know that there was a very tiny story that was once again teasing the Ruination. But then, Riot released another teaser for the Ruination. And thankfully they released it while I was streaming, so if you head to our second channel, there you can find my authentic reaction to it. They released a puzzle. It first started with Riot's Twitter spewing out nonsensical words. But it turns out, lorem ipsum is a writer's term for made-up language for world building. After realizing that, you may notice that Riot hit link in bio in the text. So if you go to League's bio and click the link, you will get to this page, with nothing but an image of Viego. This is the same image that was used for a story where Viego got back his music box from the Ionians. Anytime you would click on this image, you would get timed out for 3 seconds. That is, until you click on Viego's hand in the painting. I have no idea why that would be the answer. It could be because Viego is not wearing his ring here, and the ring was the very first teaser we ever got for Viego. Or because it's supposed to be a lead to their wedding. But either way, this was quite random. After clicking on it, you get to the second part. This one shows you the music box. And it plays Viego's theme, which is Gwen's theme in reverse. After it plays the song once, it opens a window where you can type stuff. Now, being a lore nerd, I went deep with my attempts. I knew Riot used an image which was used in the story about the music box, so naturally I was looking for an answer there. I also knew the exact part of the theme the music box was playing, so I was looking for an answer there. But even with the hive mind of our Twitch chat, we couldn't figure out any connections to the actual lore. So, of course, knowing the League community, you know what people started typing there. Booba! Haha, that's funny. Let me type in 4 dicks. Yeah, I was just as confused as you are right now. Apparently, those are not what they seem. These are tiny images of scissors. And the way you are supposed to legitimately figure it out is admittedly quite clever. If you go to Gwen's bio and highlight the text, there is a new hidden part that wasn't there before. These are the scissors. But even these don't work just yet. So because the theme is reversed, if you reverse these symbols, you get the actual answer. Yeah, while this is clever and interesting, it felt incredibly unrewarding. I was really hoping Riot would actually test our knowledge on the Ruination. But instead we just got a hide-and-seek game. Anyway, this got us to the last part. Here we got to what seems to be the Vault of the Light Sentinels. And you can see that all the statues around are holding weapons, but one is missing. This is likely relating to the new champion. Regardless, here the page is welcoming a Sentinel. So of course we tried typing in Lucian, Senna and even Urias. Lucian's father, which you would only know about from the lore. But unfortunately, to solve this one, you have to go to the source code where you can find a new hidden message. To the Sentinels, in the event of my death, I appoint Akshan as my successor, to inherit my weapon and keep Shurima protected from the forces of undeath. May you one day find us, Shadia. Here, not only did we learn about 2 new Sentinels, Shadia and Akshan, but we also learned that Akshan is the answer to the puzzle. And this gets us to our reward. A wallpaper for the event. Again, a tiny bit underwhelming, but it was still a cool way to tease what's coming. Obviously, the name of the event is Sentinels of Light, and it basically confirms all the stuff that was data mined in Wild Rift. Where, by the way, the name Akshan appeared in the files like a month ago by accident. And of course, this is Akshan, the Shuriman Light Sentinel, just like we predicted with the original teaser. You know what's scary about this? The leak that came out like a month ago, which everyone thought was fake, was actually real! How does this keep happening? What's more interesting are the skins here. You can see that we'll get a Sentinel skin for Graves and Vayne. Curiously enough, Vayne was also data mined in Wild Rift, but there we can also see Sentinel Riven and Irelia. So it seems like not all skins will cross over, but at least Vayne will. Lastly, if you have a look at the bottom of this image, you may see that this event will dip into every single one of Riot's games. There is Legends of Runeterra, Wild Rift, League, Teamfight Tactics, and Valorant. Valorant will most likely just get some more gun skins. But hey, it's cool to see Valorant involved as well. Also on the right, there is the Riot Social Fund logo, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Riot's own charity. So it is possible that a portion of the skin sales will go toward charity. That's just me guessing though. But now you may be thinking, that was cool. So is that it for all the Ruination news? Nope! Riot also gave us this teaser image with the ruined Shyvana, which was released like a month ago. At least they revealed the event will come on July the 8th. So is that it for all the Ruination news? Nope! The Turkish Riot page accidentally posted about the prestige skins of 2021 before everyone else. And in that post, they accidentally revealed what other skins are coming as well. Now, excuse my Turkish, but it seems like from the event tokens prestige skins, the first three are the ones we already got. These are Fiora, Lulu and Silas. But next there is Ruined Pantheon, so we are getting more ruined skins. But I wonder what a prestige version of that skin would look like. Then there is a planned prestige version for a skin LeBlanc already has, but then there are future plans for Kayn, Volibear and Brand. From these, people will probably freak out about Kayn finally getting a new skin. But below that, we also got info on the prestige point skins. We already got Battle Academia Leona, Conqueror Jax and Project Z. But this year, we should also get a Morgana prestige skin for a skin which she already has. But more interestingly, it seems like it's going to be for one of her 975 RP skins. That would be the first lower priced prestige skin. Hopefully it will not be just turned into champagne pink. So, is that it for all the Ruination news? Nope, stuff just keeps coming. Yesterday we got another PvE update that is focusing on the new skins. And brace yourselves because we are getting a lot more than we thought. There is the Sentinel Vayne, just as was revealed in the image. But there is also the Sentinel Irelia, which means that we are getting her in League of Legends as well. Just like Riven. She's also coming to League. But then there is also Diana. And lastly, by far the most badass of them all, there is also Sentinel Olaf. And of course, after him there is the Ruined Pantheon, whose prestige skin turns him into a Light Sentinel. That's how the prestige skin works. And here's the thing about these skins. On Reddit, all of them were confirmed to be canon, and all of them are themselves. Originally, I was hoping that all of these skins would represent new characters, new Light Sentinels that are out there in the world. But it was confirmed that these skins are actually just the champions that we already know. So Sentinel Vayne is just Vayne. On paper, this means that none of these skins are from an alternative universe. It should be just a continuation of the story. But seeing what champions we are dealing with, I am highly skeptical. Because characters such as Graves are not on the PvE just yet, we know that the event will be split into two halves. The first one will probably just start the event, and in the other half the new champion will arrive, and with him even more skins. That means that we need new stories to explain what is happening for like 8 to 10 different champions. I have no idea how Riot can pull this off. And then there is the other thing. For some champions it is understandable why they would join the Light Sentinels. Olaf really just wants to kill things. He was already slaying the undead, so at least now he has a purpose. Vayne is in the same boat. But Diana? She's a celestial aspect with power of gods. Does she really need to join the Light Sentinels? A group of people who hunt monsters just to have a purpose? Would she really swap her blade that was forged by the stars for a weapon that was crafted by a Light Sentinel? You see, there are some champions for whom the story wouldn't really make that much sense. I mean, we know that Diana is somewhere on the Ionian continent right now. After all, Nami has been looking for her. But is this the right step for her to make? And there is more to this. Riot also confirmed that Yorick has not been forgotten. So it is possible that Yorick will get a skin in the second wave of the event. But also, because Vayne and Graves are going to be legendary skins, Vayne got new voice lines. And in those voice lines, she confirmed that Miss Fortune will get a Ruin skin, and Pyke will be a Light Sentinel. Pyke will be a Light Sentinel. Can anyone actually explain that? Because I can't, and that's why I am skeptical. What might still happen is that all of these skins will be a vision from the future. And the way you can make this canon is that if the normal champions just see the vision. That way, if the vision was canonically presented to the champions that we have, those skins would theoretically be considered canon and they would be themselves, while not really changing the overall story. And Pike will be a light sentinel. Regardless, I really like these skins aesthetically. Riot did really good job with these. Especially Olaf, I really like that one. But that finally closes up the news surrounding League. So now, let's have a look at what is happening in the other games. In Wild Rift, there's nothing new. Zed got a new skin, and that's it. We talked about all the new Wild Rift things last time. There are all the region backgrounds which got ruined, and 3 new Sentinel skins that were data mined. Once again, these are Vayne, Irelia, and Riven. And that's it. So, let's have a look at Legends of Runeterra. There we are getting a new expansion, which means I'm going to be a slave to covering new cards. The expansion is called Rise of the Underworlds, and it's really tied to the Black Rose and Zaun. The 3 new champions tied to this are Echo, Pike, and rather surprisingly, Rek'Sai. Which doesn't mean that we are getting a Void deck, she is being put into Shurima. Which makes sense, but a Void region would make sense even more. Anyway, the new cinematic which we got with this expansion is absolutely incredible. It is fully animated and it looks really good. But what's different from the last animated cinematic is that this one actually has a story. So I am likely going to cover it in a separate video. What's essentially happening is that the Black Rose, for one reason or another, is trying to blow up Zaun. We don't really know the reasons, we just know about the tools they are trying to use. And of course, Echo appears to stop them. What is peculiar about this one is that this sounds like a story setup for Convergence. And just in case I am right about that, just remember that it is possible that the main storyline of the Convergence game is going to be the Black Rose fiddling with the underworld of Piltover, aka Zaun. Regardless, let's have a look at the gameplay of the new expansion. Just like the last expansion, this one is also giving us a new keyword. This one is Lurk. When you attack while I'm on top of your deck, I lurk, granting the lurker allies everywhere +1/+0. This can only happen once per round. First of all, in order for this one to activate, you need to have another lurker on top of your deck. Which sounds like a cool slow build-up, unless you get predict cards. And you can choose to have a lurker on top of your deck. I can already see all the Shreem and Bilgewater decks. Also, these cards revealed something called Hexite Crystal, which seems to be just a small piece of chipped Hextech Crystal. I assume we will get more lore around this, but I'm just happy that Professor Fonip is connected to this. But unfortunately, that is it for Legends of Runeterra. So now on to TFT. The only thing that's really happening here is the Sky Glass Origins event. Remember when Riot teased that TFT would be getting its own lore with this? I mean, it was even teased in their new cinematics. Well, after playing through the Skyglass missions myself, I can confirm that's not really the case. I mean, TFT does have lore now, but this is the story which we will be dealing with. Green ghouls with oozing guts and fangs embrace death happily. For once they are slain, oh no, don't look. It's the monstrosity. The creature borrows sword and steel from all its closest friends. Gear 3 abominations up, to bring foes to their ends. Wow, I learned nothing. To be fair, there is some talk about Earth being the almighty god who created entire worlds, and that's it. At least, this is a point for me. Besides this, the only other thing TFT got is the data mined Jubilant Cake Spirit. This is most likely going to be a reward for the TFT's birthday. Lastly, this leads us to Valorant. In Valorant, we got a new agent, KO, which really is just the Terminator of this universe. So far, there are 2 theories as to how this agent works lore-wise. We know that this machine saw the future, and they saw how the Radiants and Radianite are ruining the world. So, in order to stop this apocalypse, they are trying to remove all Radiants. Now here's the thing. Because we know that the world of Valorant essentially has multiple realities, it is possible that either KO traveled back in time exactly like the Terminator, and they are trying to stop the bad future from happening, or KO is from the other universe and they traveled to this one to stop the bad future. Regardless, what's cool about this agent is that when they die, it seems like their memories just get uploaded into another body, and after that they get back into the action. That's what you can see in the cinematic teaser. They die, they get re-uploaded and they get back. This is also a tie-in to KO's ultimate, during which if they die, they can be revived.
God damn it.
But interestingly, KO is not the only agent that is being teased. If you check out the video that is celebrating the first year of Valorant, there, if you pause during the hectic sections, you can actually see screenshots of another agent. This is really the only lead we have on that person. We just know that they may look like this. But hey, at least we know that someone like this might become an agent. Though, notice that they have an entirely new gun. I wonder if this is also teasing a new gun for the game. Yesterday, we also got new updates when it comes to the episode 3 of Valorant. We got a trailer that is showcasing all the new stuff which you will be able to find in the Battle Pass. You can pretty much find all of that on the internet already. But the new thing that was revealed here is the new Ruin skin line for the guns. Right here KO used the Guardian, but we can assume there will be a lot more. But also besides the Battle Pass, Episode 3 will also let you level up your account. So just like in League you have different borders for different levels on your account, Valorant is going to have the exact same thing. So for those of you who grind an insane amount of games, at least now you will have something to show for it instead of just being stuck in silver. Anyway, that's it for all the news. For the majority of the time it was focused on the Ruination, and that's because finally the Ruination is actually doing something. It's not just Viego crying and no one else doing really anything. I just wish there would be less teasers and more action. I have to clean this stuff now.